Okay, so Chapter 7 review number 20, I think, is one of the harder problems probably in the packet. Uh, so they give you a triangle, you know all three sides. Oh yeah, there was a typo in this one, which I mentioned in class. So C, why did that right? Ah, there we go. CA should really be AB here. This CA should also be AB. And this angle is actually angle C there. So now the picture actually matches the stuff that's in the wording. So in the problem, what we have is right at angle C, we've got this angle bisector here, right? So anytime you see an angle bisector, you should start thinking about that triangle angle bisector theorem, which says, you know, these blue guys match up with these green guys according to proportions. So, like you could do 13 over this top green line here equals 12 over the PB bottom green line. The only problem is I don't have anything about the green lines except that the sum is 14. So what I'll do is I'll call, it doesn't matter which one you call x, but I'll pick the bottom one to be x. And so the top one here will be 14 minus x then. So now I can set up a proportion using that theorem, triangle angle bisector theorem, and say like green over or blue over green, 13 over 14 minus x equals blue over green, 12 over x. So I could do something like this. And then if you cross multiply, we'll get 13x equals, let's see, 12 times 4. Oh, I did this differently on my page. So let's see, 12 times 14, I believe, is 168 minus 12x. So then I bring this over and I get 25x equals 168. And then x should be, I want to say, 6.72. So let me check that real quick before I go on. 168 divided by 25. Yeah, 6.72. Okay, so now we know that this part right here is 6.72. So notice I haven't even done anything with the midpoint yet. So now that I have the 6.72, I'll put the midpoint in the picture. So the whole length here is 14, which means the midpoint has to go 7 units from the ends. So if I put that in, you know, it should go about here because this part's only 6.72. So 7 would be a little bit higher than that. So this is my midpoint, and I know that, let me get rid of this part here. So 6.72 goes up to P and down to B, and M is 7 units away from B, because that's half of the 14. So the question is, how big is this part right here, MP? Right? Well, from B to M it's 7, and from B to P it's 6.72, so all I need to do is 7 minus 6.72, and I get MP. So that's going to be 0.28, and then we're done. Now, you can set up some other proportions, like if you call the bottom one x, then you're going to get, let's see, you could do something like 14 minus x over x equals 13 over 12. That would also work. And then your second line is still going to be this one. One other method that some students do. Okay. They will call the top one x. There we go. So if you call the top one x and the bottom one 14 minus x, then you actually, when you set up this proportion here, or one of these correct types of proportions, you're not going to get the same x that we got up here. Instead, you're going to get, let's see, 182 minus 13x equals 12x. So you get 182 equals 25x. So x here ends up being 7.28. So then this part's 7.28, and when I put the midpoint back in, so it should only be 7 units away from A, so up to here, that red line is 7, and I'll make the 7.28 green so you can see it a little bit better. So this part is the 7.28 in green, and the question is, what's the difference from M to P? Right? Well, it's the green line minus the red line, so 7.28 minus 7 equals 0.28. Okay, hope that helps.